how the fermentation process will takes place. Now, let us see, as we have studied that aerobic respiration will take place everywhere in the sense of like human beings, cats, rats, understanding lizards, understanding everywhere, whatever the organisms we are seeing, in most of the living organisms, aerobic respiration will take place. Is it yes or no? Now, we also obtain energy by using aerobic respiration. Means in the sense of all the human beings also obtain the energy by using aerobic respiration, but anaerobic respiration can sometimes takes place in our muscles. Understand? So that is also will happen in our muscles few times. Understanding? Rarely anaerobic respiration process also will takes place. Understanding? In where the muscles of us or else even other animals also in that takes place. Where it will take place means in place of muscles it will takes place. So this anaerobic respiration takes place in our muscles during understanding a vigorous physical exercise. You may notice it, those who are doing the understanding biceps or some kind of lifting the loads, those who are doing a continuous and fast moving exercise, physical exercise, when oxygen gets used up faster in the muscle cells, then it can be supplied by the blood. Understand? So that is why you can see when you are running, after that we will feel suffocation. Is it yes or no? Is it yes or no? So when we are running fast, it will come like that it will do. As well as when we are working hard in the gym, what will happen means, so whatever the oxygen supplied by our blood, understanding, it is not sufficient to understanding meet the enough energy requirement to release the enough energy requirement. So whatever the oxygen supplied by our blood will be useful, completely used by our muscles, understanding muscle cells to release the energy, and it is requirement is not sufficient oxygen is supplied by the blood. So by that time what will happen means our muscles can go with the anaerobic respiration. Understand? So when this anaerobic respiration takes place in human muscles or any kind of animal muscles, then glucose is converting into not into the energy, this one, what, carbon dioxide and water, it will be converting into the some kind of acid. What is that acid? Can you able to say?
Lactic acid, sir. Lactic acid.
Lactic acid. Very good. So, in the absence of oxygen, few times when we are doing a vigorous physical exercise, our muscles can produce, understanding, they will convert the glucose into lactic acid. They will release a small amount of energy. So anaerobic respiration means what is the amount of energy will release? Only 280.
280.
Let us take now human beings and any kind of animals when they are physically vigorous physical exercise, then anaerobic respiration will take place. So if we take in human beings, understanding human, let me take anaerobic respiration, which will be takes place in where? Which will be takes place in muscles, understanding muscle cells, so muscle tissue. So if we take here also, what will happen? One molecule of glucose. What is the first process? One molecule of glucose. What's the first process?
Glucolysis.
Glycolysis. It will be passing the where it will take place? In cytoplasm. So which will be forms the which of one? Which will forms what? Pyruvate. Also is to called as what? Pyruvate acid. So how many molecules?
Two molecules.
Two molecules. See, this is 3 carbon understanding containing molecules, and this is 6 carbon containing molecules. That is what I have taught you in the important points. So now it will take place what? In the absence of oxygen. In absence. It's not fermentation, just to remember. In absence of oxygen. Not because of yeast strain. That is called as fermentation. But here what? Muscle tissue. What is that?
Muscle tissue.
Muscle tissue. Understand? Which will give you, what is the products? What is the products? lactic acid. Understand?
Lactic acid.
Lactic acid plus we used to get the
Small amount of energy.
2 ATPs. That is one. Do you understand, Amma?
Yes, sir.
2 lactic acids plus ATPs will come. Please note it down. This is what? This is what? This is what? An error,
Anaerobic takes place in human.
which will take place when? Which will take place
Muscle.
in improper means insufficient supply of oxygen by our blood. Then our muscle cells will do, instead of aerobic respiration, they will do what? Anaerobic respiration. By that time, you should write this equation. Now, this one, we people also will feel sometimes. Now, have you noticed it? How many of you know Hussein Bolt? Hussein Bolt. You all people know about the Hussein Bolt. Do you know Hussein Bolt?
Yes, sir.
All of you. Hussein Bolt is the world's fastest runner. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir.
But in certain Olympics, understanding 200-meter race, suddenly he is unable. Yes, his legs has been stuck in something. Nerves has been failed to cooperate, so that he lost that race. Have you remembered that? Yes. Please tell me. Maybe you may
Yes, sir.
not notice it. Actually, in the 200 meters race, one of the race, he lost the match because of that. His muscles are not cooperated with him. Understand? So most probably you may see that so many of them, when they're running, suddenly they will stuck and their legs are not cooperating that, so that they will cannot move. Slowly they can move like physically handicapped. Have you noticed it?
Yes, sir.
We also people will feel a few times our muscles are not cooperating to walking. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Why it is happening? What can happen? Not only us, like a cheetah, like deer and all, they used to run. They used to run very, very fast. Is it yes or no? So at that moment, what will happen? Why these fellows we are getting the problem in leg?
Lactic acid will form right at the
That is
temple.
the reason. That is what you should remember. So if you remember here, the sudden understanding buildup of lactic acid in our muscles during a physical activity can cause muscular cramps. What is the meaning of muscular cramps? Anybody? Muscular cramps. Very, very important thing. We all fellows will face in our particular situation. We people also will face this problem. What is this muscular cramps? Painful contraction of muscles. Understand? Painful contraction means muscles are not cope up with our actions. Understand? Painful contraction of muscles. Understanding means in the sense of they will become very very sticky, like in the sense of very hard. So there is not allowing us to do any kind of action. Suddenly we people can stuck. Our muscles are not giving energy, understanding, to move forward. So that kind of state is called as muscular cramps. Understand? So now let us discuss this little bit more in detail. Suppose now I will show you one picture. You people also maybe face that problem few times when you are running. Understand? So here in this picture, like a marathon. Do you know marathon? Movies and all they will show you, correct? Marathon, do you know marathon? Running race,
Yes, sir.
police marathon,
Yes, sir.
police training and all they will do.
Yeah.
So now let us see, some of your friends or somewhere you people are facing that problem, this muscle cramps. Understand? So here in this picture, please observe in this picture what is happening. Tell me. In this picture, if you'll observe, you can see something. Wait, it is not coming. It will come. So in this picture, you see all of you. What is happening? Here one person is feeling a little bit difficulty to move. What is happening to him? He is holding.
Muscle cramp.
Correct?
Muscular cramp.
The muscles which are present there, it is not allowing to move. So that he is almost crying state. Do you notice it? His face? Yes?
Sir.
All of you. So this kind is called as muscle cramps. See, remaining all, see, they are moving forward, but this person is unable to, because his muscles are, understanding, not cope up with him to run forward, to move forward. So that state is called as muscle cramps. Understanding means a painful contraction of muscles. So now why it is happening? What is the reason behind? Let us discuss more. So when we are during heavy physical exercise, understand, when we are heavy physical exercise like 5-kilometer race, like that, heavy physical exercise. This is what exactly happened to the Mr. Usain Bolt during one of the race, understand, prestigious athletic race, and he lost it finally because of this one. Understand? So during this heavy physical exercise or any kind of activity, most of the energy in our muscles, understanding, in produced by aerobic respiration only. Understanding? So whatever the energy required, everything will be produced by aerobic respiration. But here if you'll observe, because of not meeting the requirement of oxygen, enough requirement of oxygen which is supplied by our blood, so anaerobic respiration in muscles provides only some extra energy which is needed under the conditions of heavy physical activity. Understand? So during this, when we are doing a heavy physical activity, a very less energy we are getting from the, understanding, anaerobic respiration of muscles. So now here if you will see, yes, anaerobic respiration is taking place. It is good. At least it is giving some energy. Understand? So like running very fast or running for a long time, it may add some little bit more energy for our body. But if you'll see here, the people running in a long distance like a race, this anaerobic respiration by muscles brings about a partial breakdown of glucose. Understand? A partial breakdown of glucose. So it will form an acid called as, which acid drop? Lactic acid. Understand?
Lactic acid.
It will release a very less amount of energy. Lactic acid. Understand? Lactic acid. So this lactic acid will stored in the muscles. It will stored. We should not use a word called as stored. We have to use a word called as accumulates. What we should use? What we should use? Accumulates. So what is the meaning of accumulation? Accumulates means what? Storage. Understand? Like a settled at one place. So that is called as accumulation actually. So this lactic acid will accumulates in the muscles. So what will happen? This accumulation of lactic acid in the muscles, they only causes the painful contraction of muscles, which we used to known as what? Muscle. What is called? Muscle. Muscle cramps we used to call as. So this accumulation of this lactic acid only causing these pains. That is why you can see here, this muscle cramps occurs due to the accumulation of lactic acid in muscles. Understand? When the muscles respire anaerobically, means in the sense of without oxygen, if they will do, understanding, respiration process, this will be takes place. So when we are doing very hard physical exercise only, it will be takes place. Understand? So we can get relief from these cramps in muscles caused by this heavy exercise by taking a hot water bath or any kind of massage. So if you do that massage at that particular place, or else with the hot water if you bath, then this the accumulated lactic acid will be start moving away from that, so that it will be muscles will be understand. Okay, so now here what will happen means, like massage or hot water bath, what will happen means it will improve the circulation of blood in the muscles. You noticed it. Suppose something is falling on you, your hands is suppose there is no blood circulation, your something like a stone or brick or something fall on your hand or leg, immediately our mother will say keep it on water and start pressing it slowly. You notice it? They will start applying pressure. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Why?
Yes, sir.
Because of this heavy load which will falls on our hand or leg, which will causes for, understanding, no proper supply of oxygen, means blood circulation won't be takes place properly. So that means in a sense of it will causes for the more severe action. So that only immediately we will go for this kind of treatment, like keeping with hot water and we are pressing, doing massage. So which what will happen? It will, if you do that, it will improve the circulation of blood in the muscles. So if there is no proper supply of blood, what will happen, Ra? If you are supplying the enough improvement in the blood, means blood supply is moving very fastly, then what will happen? The supply of oxygen to the muscles will be increases or decreases?
Increases.
Increases.
More amount of blood is supplying, more oxygen will be supplied. So that what will
Yes,
happen?
sir.
The oxygen breaks down this lactic acid accumulated in muscles again into what? It will form into lactic acid is a form of what? It is breaking down into two products called as what? Oxygen, carbon dioxide,
CO2 plus
water.
carbon dioxide and water.
So whatever this oxygen which is supplied by the understanding a blood which will be break this lactic acid into again products called as carbon dioxide and water. So as we know that
Water.
water will be useful by our body, but carbon dioxide what will happen? It will be sending outside. Immediately we used to get relief. Understanding? So we will feel relief from this muscle cramps. Understand? So that is why we have to do this treatment, like bath with hot water or do the massage with that. So here, this anaerobic respiration does not take place only in the muscles of human beings. It will also take place in the muscles of other animals like lion, tiger, cheetah, deer, those who run very, very fast for hunting. Many other animals, when they run very, very fast and they require much more energy than the normal, then understanding this, even these animals like understanding lion, tiger, everything can get these cramps due to the accumulation of lactic acid in legs and muscles. But sir, how they will get hot water? Who will do massage for them means? But after certain time, in the sense of after relaxing completely, then automatically this pain will be reduced. Do you understand, Emma? For them, nobody will do any kind of massage. Okay. So automatically after relaxing, so it will be reduced that muscle. They will get the relief from the muscle contraction. Means in the sense of cramps, because once they will get relaxed, so that enough sufficient oxygen supply will be by the blood, so that they will get relaxed from that. Understand? But for us, we have some treatment, we can do it. So this is, you have to remember it. So if you take like living organisms, those who are carried out the respiration process by aerobic respiration, at certain situations, also anaerobic respiration also will take place. Do you understand, Amma? So that is what you should remember. So in this case, so what will happen? Lactic acid will produce. So this is actually what it is. Instead of carbon dioxide and water, this is producing. So because of this accumulation of lactic acid in muscles, only causing for the paining of muscles. So that is only we used to call as muscle cramps. What we should call? Muscle cramps.
Muscle
So
cramp.
muscle cramps happens only in legs or in other parts of the body also.
Muscles only muscles. Muscles in the sense of muscle tissue. Tissue means it is made up of cells only, correct? Actually, if you are running means your leg muscles only will give the energy. Is it yes or no? Are you
Yes,
understanding?
sir.
Are you understanding? So that is the reason why it will be we used to call it as muscle tissue. See, we have around 600 muscles in our body. So every muscle is made up of
Then in the case of lifting heavy weights,
heavy fastly. It is
sir, in the case of lifting heavy weights,
what I am saying, Jesse. Suppose I am doing normally, I am walking. Is it possible, sir? No. When I am walking, I am getting enough supply of oxygen by blood. Understanding? So that it's not will take place. I am lifting the load. I am not lifting in the sense of like this, more and more faster if I'll do. That is heavy physical exercise. Then only it will lead that. Do you understand?
yes, sir.
Okay. So that is what this is.
Yes, sir.
All of you write. All of you write this special case you can keep. So what is the heading? You can keep this. What is the heading? You can write. What we can write? Aerobic animal. What we can do that? Okay, right. Human beings, right? Like human beings. Few times they will obtain energy by. Aerobic respiration. Few times they will obtain energy by Anaerobic, not aerobic. Anaerobic respiration.
Sir, can you say again?
Like human like animals, few times they will get energy by anaerobic respiration. Few times they will get energy by anaerobic respiration. Anaerobic respiration takes place. Anaerobic respiration takes place in our muscles during vigorous physical exercise, when oxygen gets used up, faster in the muscle cells than can be supplied by the blood. Faster in the muscle cells than can be supplied by the blood. So that by the time what will happen? This reaction will come. All of you write it. So here I rubbed it. What we used to call this? Two molecules of muscle tissue. What is the products, Ra? 2 lactic acid plus what will happen? 2 ATPs. Energy rich molecules, ATPs. That is the reaction. Please all of you write that reaction. This is the